What was ruined for everyone by one single person? 1. At a previous job, we got full uniforms, shirts, pants, hats, hoodies, winter coats and gloves, but we didn't get shoes or boots. Turns out, a couple of years before I was hired, they used to give boots. But one guy would take his boots and sell them, then request replacements, and sell those too. He did this about 20 times before anybody realized. When they finally caught on, they stopped giving out boots to employees altogether. 2. Other firefighters constantly ruin any sort of appreciation restaurants give out. We had a barbecue restaurant that would give $10 off your meal. If you didn't spend $10, it was basically free. One guy ruined it on an $8 order by demanding the $2 difference in cash. Then there were people going in uniform on their days off. One guy even had a family reunion at a local restaurant and made a big issue about why they wouldn't give the discount to his entire party. I don't understand how out of touch people can be. 3. My elementary school used to do relatively frequent trips to a local zoo, until one boy decided to vault the fence and punch a penguin. I wish I was joking. 4. At a previous job, we used to have hybrid work twice a week. One person, on their hybrid day, decided to slack off and go out. They got a call from their manager because they were late for a virtual meeting, and the manager heard a lot of background noise, like they were at the mall or something. Said person eventually admitted they weren't home working, got fired, and now everyone had to be in the office 5 days a week. 5. At a certain point in U.S. Army basic training, your platoon is given the opportunity to sit and eat without waiting for the entire company. The catch is, if one person finishes eating, everyone has to stop eating. One trainee, who sat early, finished his dinner before the other side of the table even got to start. He stood up, and the drill sergeant promptly made everyone else get up too, eaten or not. The same trainee did the exact same thing the next day, this time at breakfast, so a few people didn't get dinner or breakfast. I'll never forget the nasty stuff they did to his bunk and locker. Couldn't really feel bad for him, and you best believe nobody stood up early for the rest of basic combat training. 6. Back in the mid-2000s, when I was around 10 years old, I used to go to this place after school called the Boys and Girls Club. They had an area with multiple basketball hoops where we played all kinds of games, including dodgeball. These weren't big rubber balls, but rather styrofoam-filled balls with a thin plastic layer, harmless for the most part. One kid thought it would be a good idea to shove a rock into one of the balls and throw it at someone he didn't like. He ended up throwing it right into that kid's face and broke 2 of his front teeth. We never played dodgeball again. 7. The elementary school I went to let 6th graders go on an overnight trip to a lodge where we could ski and go snow tubing. My dad volunteered as a parent and was supervising by letting me and 5 other girls pile on top of one tube down a steep hill. We all went flying. 2 of the girls busted their arms when we landed in a pile. It looked like a cartoon. Anyway, after that, no more sleepovers at the lodge, and tale has it that 30 years later, everyone at the school still blames my dad. 8. I worked as a dialysis nurse, and we added a position to handle add-ons and emergency cases that came in later in the day. In this role, we worked noon to midnight, which helped cut down on the need for a nurse on call every night.